hello, my creative and innovative individuals. How have you been? Welcome again to another episode of Creative and Transit Podcast. Thank you so much for joining in. And yes, it's Precious Greg, aka the Coffee Talker here again. And today's episode, we have another exciting guest for you. Yes, of course, you know that we don't serve you rubbish. We always bring the best, nothing but the best. If this is your first time stumbling on our video and you haven't subscribed yet, I'm giving you 2 seconds now. Just click on the subscribe button, do that right now, and also turn on notifications bell so you're informed when our next episode goes live. Yes, to the business of today, we have an exciting guest for you, and this person is someone who is a project manager and community manager. She's someone who understands projects. Also, the project you probably stumbled on, like events and all that. She manages these events so effectively. And this person is none other than Mercy Olubukola. Mercy, you're welcome to Creative and Transit Podcast. It's such an honor to have you here in the studio. How are you doing today?
I'm very fine, thank you. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Mercy Olubukola, she already did that. And yes, it is so exciting to be here today, and I look forward to all the things that we will be talking about. I can't wait to get started, so stay tuned.
Yes, absolutely. You heard that. Mercy is here to give us back to back everything we need to know about project management. I know when you talk about project management. So yeah, and by the way, our topic for today, our topic of discussion is project management for creatives. I know as creatives we've heard this term project management, and it might just seem like one technical term or something that was project management. But the thing is, yeah, it might seem like a new term basically, and some of us might not really pay attention to project management. So we're about to have a discussion on why project management is essential for you as a creative. So that's basically what we're going to be discussing today. So Mercy, yes, I know I did a bit of introduction, but please can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do as a project and community manager?
Alright, thank you, Precious. So yeah, she mentioned I'm a project and community manager. And basically what I do is I manage projects from ideation to execution within a time frame. So that is what really stands it out. Everybody do project like on a daily basis, but then it is the step-by-step approach that you take towards it and ensuring that it is concise within a time frame. So that is what I do as a project manager. And as a community manager, I just love interacting with people. I bring people together, I ideate with them, and I also see how I can make people's life better. So when you're in a community, when you belong to like a group, it's always good that you have the sense of belonging. So just see me as the person that is always available to ensure that you have a sense of belonging in any community that you're in.
I like that. That's interesting. And something you said that as creatives we all do projects.
Yes.
And that is the truth. We all do projects, yes. But then that concept of project management is now the cocoa. Is now what is now like an issue for us. We do project now. How do we now understand this term project management and even effectively, effectively use it, or I would say apply it in the projects we work on? So that goes to my first question. So talking about project management, why would you say it is essential for creatives? Why is it important for creatives?
All right, thank you, Precious. So, like I mentioned earlier, everybody does project as a creative, be creative, whatever you do, digital products, anything you're showing out, it is a project, right?
Yes.
So the thing is, project management is actually, it involves the planning from start to execution, where everything is finally ticked off and you're like, oh, this is successful, right? So as creatives, your project is whatever idea that comes to you that you want to do, right? And from the moment where that inspiration is, where you have the light bulb, to the point where you write it down, to the point where you record, to the point where you edit, and to the point where you now say, oh, okay, I can now put this out on my platform. That is a project, right? So for creative, it is essential because a lot of people feel like, huh, it's a whole lot for me to like plan, do this, but then it is a roadmap that helps manage your life and your time basically. And a whole lot of people do not even get these concepts, right? So if you're like managing your project, let's say for instance now you have everything, it is a whole lot when you are on a course and you're thinking of, oh, I have this idea, I am going to create this brief. Another person is calling you, oh, have you, maybe you're collaborating with someone else and they're like always calling you and everything, and you do not even for once think like, okay, let me put this down in writing, or let me just have it somewhere documented, or what is the end goal, what do I want to achieve, right? So if as a project, as a creative person, it is always essential, because I mean project management is there to ensure that whatever you do, you are able to replicate it easily the next time. Do you understand? So the fact that you are able to replicate that step by step, that roadmap. So project management is a roadmap that guides you actually from the moment when the light bulb hits to the time where you say, oh, this is ticked off, I am done. Yeah. So that is basically what project management is to a creative, and it's actually very helpful. So when you write it down, when you document, you have like that roadmap. You already know that, oh, okay, this is the timeline. You have your timeline set. You know that, oh, this is what I should be doing at this time. This person is supposed to work on this, is not able to work. You are collaborating with people seamlessly, right? It makes life easy for you. It is just helping you glide through the whole process of creating and everything, and before you know it, people will just be like, oh, you have a great work ethic, you do something so great and everything. Oh, really? But it is the secret is in managing it. So
that's beautiful. And what you said about when you have this roadmap, you're able to replicate it when you work on like similar projects or other projects, and that is absolutely brilliant, because you know, as creatives, there are certain projects you would work on that are similar to one another. So when you already have like project management helps you really have this detailed outline. When you work on it the first time, you can now have that kind of template to guide you when next you're working on it again. So it makes work really easy. So this, if you're a creative and you do this, you know what I'm talking about, then that you're already doing project management. Just know that. So you're already doing project management. So what would you say like is your go-to project management tools that you recommend for creatives and entrepreneurs?
Okay, so thank God for the digital age, right?
Yes,
I feel
absolutely.
like a whole lot of things have become so super easy for us in this age. So from the note on your app, from the notepad that you carry, and all those are like part of the tools that actually helps you. But then we have some major like tools or software as it's made that actually really helps do the work. So we have the likes of Trello, we have the likes of Asana, we have the likes of Notion, we have the likes of Google Docs, Google Worksheets, and all of that jiggers. So if you are a very visual person, I would say, oh, work with Trello. As a person, I like sticky notes, even like manually. So Trello is just something similar to sticky notes too. So you just move, you write all your tasks and everything, then once one is completed, you move to another card and everything. So Trello helps like really good. If you're a creative that works like in a company, structured place and all of that, you can use Asana. It helps you to work with team more effectively.
And then there's Slack too.
Slacks also help with your communications and collaborations too. Then we have Notion. Notion is like all in all, like it's all encompassing. You have the writing, you have the communication, you have all those encompasses in your Notion app. And also you have your Google Doc, you have your Google Worksheet. And I feel like for me as a person, I really enjoy working with Google Docs, because collaboration is much more easier. I can be on a project and 2-3 other persons are even able to like work on a live document and everything, we edit and everything, so that works in real time. But if you're like working solo, to do first is also is also there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can also have that, digital and everything like that. And there are times that you could just be working. Inspiration comes to creatives like anywhere, as
Absolutely.
you get. So if you have something like a to do first or something, you just note it down. So you already know that, oh, okay, this is it. Then you give yourself like, oh, this time frame and all of that. Then you are able to just manage the whole process through and everything. So those are the tools. Those are some of the tools. It is this is actually
Endless.
yes, endless and non-exhaustive, right? But at least for those like major ones, and they are quite popular these days. That like most of the things that a lot of project managers use right now. So yeah, those are some of the tools that we
Wow. Thank you so much for that
Yeah.
long list. I would say that was a lot.
Yes.
And just you mentioned Google Docs. Even if you're not using any of these other tools, just Google Docs and Google Sheets like is a very, very effective tool, I must say. But of course, all the tools that she mentioned, Asana, Trello, Notion, Slack, they're all amazing project management tools that can help you stay effective and efficient at work. Whether you're working solo or you're working in a corporate organization, it's brilliant. Thank you, Mercy. So, my next question. Now, we talked about freelancers, and then we talked about solo, like freelancers as solo creatives, creatives who work on their own. Now some people may be watching and like, I'm not working in a corporate organization, because for some of us we believe that these project management tools are being used in corporate organizations, but then as a solo creative, I'm working on my own, so why do I even need project management? So my question now is, how can freelancers or solo creatives apply project management techniques to their work, even when they're not like under any corporate organization?
Okay, so it is very simple. You want to be productive, right? You want people to be like, oh, you have a great work ethic, you do so many things at the same time, and you make it look so easy. My dear, see, the jewels, the secrets in how well you're able to manage whatever idea or creative juice that comes to you, right? So it doesn't even matter. And even as a solo creative or as a freelancer, the thing is, you are a brand.
Absolutely.
Sure, you understand? You are a brand. So as a brand, you treat yourself as one. It doesn't matter if you have the board of directors or anything. So far that you are doing something and it is earning you money, so you treat whatever you do, solo or not solo, a single person or not single, as a brand. So that means the same rules that applies to someone that works in a corporate organization applies to you. Do you get it? So actually when it comes to, because I think like I work with freelancers a lot, and sometimes I also freelance, and I think one of the issues that we really deal with is time management.
That's true.
Do you get
time management?
Keeping to I want to put out this post, or I have made this video, I want it to come out at this time. From the moment when you are ideating, you should already foresee the time that you want that video to go out. You should already know that, oh, okay, this is the objective, this is what I want this thing to achieve. Why am I creating this video? I'm not just creating for creating sake, right? Is it to inform? Is it to educate? Is it to inspire? Right? So those are like your objectives for creating. So you already know what you want to achieve with that thing you are creating. And okay, when do you want to release it? What time? What are the process? How are you going to edit and all of that? Do you need to talk to someone? Do you need someone to review it before you post it out? Do you get? So all of those things, you have to put a guideline, a timeline to it. So project management is not there to make your life hard, but rather to make it easy. It just helps to put a structure. So it's just like when let's imagine we go for paint, sip and paint now. Then they give us like this Canva thing, and I'm like, when they give the Canva to me to paint on, and someone maybe let's assume that the first time I receive it, the structure that holds it is not there, and I keep just keep painting and all. Then someone that gives me the structure to hold it. Like, should I, as a normal person, should I reject it? No, I should not, because it makes my work easy. I am even able to see it and say, oh, okay, this is standing right, this is slanting or not. Sure, you understand? So project management for solo, for people working in the organization or whatever, is there to help put structure to whatever you're doing. It helps to make your life easy. Do you get?
Yeah.
And like I said again, see, anything you do and you're not able to replicate, it's just like message drop, right? So if I do something a good time, let's assume like you are a content creator, you post things and all online, and you do like a video once and it really just went viral. You want to keep that momentum.
Exactly.
Do you get? You really want to keep that momentum. But imagine I do that, I have that viral post, and for me to now do something else again, I am not able to keep up. People move on fast.
Exactly.
Do you get?
And we are in an age where if you're not
like
getting the
giving
attention
it back
of people,
to back.
people move on from you to the next
on. They don't even care if they're alive or something.
Like,
so you need that structure in place that ensures that you, whether you are in the moment or not, you have something to show out. And one thing that really helps you is when you are able to really have a process that you are able to follow to creating. There are times that ideas can even come to you. You are not able to produce them or create them immediately, but you have your notepad and you are really writing it down at that time. You come back to it. So on days when you have your writer's block, creative block, or whatever block it is, you can pick your old notes, you can pick your digital gadget, and you look through and say that, oh, okay, this I've not done it. You will even be surprised, and you just go back to it and create. Do you get? So that is really it for whoever, wherever you're working, whoever it is you are. It is there to help you live free.
Brilliant. You said a lot of things, I would say, but I'll just pick two things. The first one is, project management helps you with structure, which is very important. And the second one, time management. And to be honest, as solo creatives, as freelancers, I don't know the thing we have with solo creatives have with deadline. It's like when your deadline to submit a particular project is today, you're working on it the night before. That's when you're working on it. So it's crazy. So I'm sure you heard that. Project management is vital for you, whether as a solo creative or as a creative working in a corporate organization, because it helps with structure. It helps you manage your time, which is very important. Okay, thank you. So my next question is, you've talked about projects and all, and just like we said initially, you're a project manager, you've managed a ton of successful projects. So can you share with us an example of a successful creative project you worked on? Yes, and like the key steps you took to make it a success.
Okay, so a lot of projects. I don't even know which to mention, right? So, but then I feel like for me as a person, my niche is really like corporate events. So I manage like a whole lot of corporate events a lot, and sometimes I had to like work with stakeholders, just not me, and I have like a whole lot of people that I work with. So the first thing I do once I receive the brief from the project owner or stakeholders or all the stakeholders involved, one thing I do is I first ensure like the objectives. I ensure that I get the objective of that project right. Then from there I know the time frame available. So if you're planning like an event for say February next year, February, I already know okay what time. So that way all the processes that are involved, I am able to really break it down. Then all the tasks, the post. We have something we call the pre-event, the day of events, and post events. You get? So you do all of those things, then there is like a checklist that will follow. So you do all those checklists, your speaker and every other thing. So basically then you do something that is really very key and very germane, so the success of any project you may be working on, which is the resources. So the resources and also the risk management. So there is something we call risk register in project management, and that's basically you trying to foresee what could come as an hindrance to your project, the project you're working on. Sure, you understand? So most times this could come in as a resource. It could be a stakeholder thing, and sometimes it could be time. In fact, time is like a huge risk in a whole lot of projects here, aside from the resources, the financial aspect and all of that. So you do that foreseeable thing, and there is something now that we call agile project management tool that is just adaptability and flexibility. So you are not whatever you have in your project charter or your scope grid is not cast in stone. Do you get?
Yeah.
So if it is agile, that means you have the liberty to change some things as the project progresses. Share understand, especially when it comes to risk managing and all of that. So you just really ensure that you follow through with the timeline and whatever it is you have in your project charter all of those times, and ensure your communication as a project manager, even as a freelancer, anything you do, you see this thing we call communication is very germane, is very key. So for everyone that you are working with, ensure that you are always in communication with them, like
your clients,
just keep them in loop. Anything that happens, ensure that they are in the loop, keep them in the loop, and also ensure that this thing, aside from the communication, right, then be open to feedback. Do you get? Be open to feedback. So as the project progresses, there will be feedback. There will be times they do like the project owner can come and be like, oh, so this is happening, this speaker is not available, can we get this speaker and everything. So you don't be like, oh no, it is this speaker go that I want and it has to be. Do you get? So you really have to just follow all that, the communication, your risk register, your feedback and all of that. Then time again, yeah, it is very, very important to ensuring that you have like a very successful project at any time when you're working on this. Yeah.
Oh guys, did you hear that? That was beautiful, Mercy. You mentioned a lot, which some of which I would reiterate. You mentioned keeping your clients in the loop, which is vital, I must say. Learn to communicate with your clients. Learn to always tell them how things are going when you're working on a project. Don't just take a project and then you're off. Clients want to be in contact with you. They want to know how things are going. So always keep them in the loop. And yes, feedback, right? Be open to feedback, and then you also mentioned something about time. And something else you mentioned, which I really love, is flexibility, being spontaneous. Even when you're following through with structures and all of that, be open to, changes when there's a need for changes in your outline and everything, because there will always be things coming up and then you have to change. Because following through a plan when there's a need for a change might not be beneficial for you. So yes, exactly. Know when to be spontaneous, know when to be flexible. Thank you, Mercy. That was beautiful. Like, personally, I learned from that. I hope you are learning. So put it in the comment box now if you are learning something or whatever it is you're learning from this amazing session. Okay, so Mercy, my next question would be, like you mentioned, okay, so before we even talk about yes, you've talked about how some of the steps you take when working on a successful project. So can you tell us, how do you measure the success of a creative project? How can you now say at the end of the day after working on a project, you say, oh wow, this was successful? How do you measure the success of a project?
Okay, so success of a project is really dependent on the process. The process that leads to the actual delivery of the project, and of course the end goal, the end result. Just like I mentioned, I said there is always an objective for every project, right? So are you able to achieve that objective? Do you get? So the objective is important, but more important also is the process, because it is in that process that you grow. It is in that process that you take feedback. It is in that process that you learn. Do you get? So you become better by learning through the process. So if as a creative now, I want to make maybe a promotional video for a client. Do you get? So I'm making a promotional video for a client. I have things that I'm saying. I have places that I need to go to get it. I have people I'm working with. Everybody is bringing their idea on the table. The team I'm working with, there may be new people, entirely new people and all. the way we are able to collaborate, the way we are able to come together to get it done, the lessons that I pick from all of those things are what will also guide me in doing something better the next time. So there may be something I already put in place that maybe while on the project, and I see that, oh, this thing does not work. It is now for me to know that when I am working on another project, I will probably
Know
look
the
for
things,
some. I will
yes.
already notice then when I'm working on
Yeah.
another project, it's taking it
It's
out
taken out,
already. Do you
yeah.
get? So when I am able to learn, I am able to get better on each project, and it becomes easier for me. Then that is to me what success.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I achieved the goal. Everybody is
Wow.
happy. All their communions. Oh,
I need to clap to that. I need to clap to
Yes,
that because
yes.
I absolutely love that. And I believe that a lot of creatives need to have that mindset, which is the fact that the success of whatever it is you're doing is in the process.
Yes.
The process of, because a lot of learning goes on in the process. Learning goes on in the process, the experience you gather. Even if at the end of the day, the project flops, you've learned what made it so. And then when you're doing something else again, when you're doing another project, you know exactly what to avoid and what not to. So I absolutely love that. The process is like the beautiful part of any project. Thank you so much. So my next question now is, how do you handle unexpected creative blocks? You're working on a project and then unexpectedly you have a creative block, and and again then the deadline is fast approaching, so you really have to you really have to be on your toes. Yeah. So how do you manage that?
So I have like different approaches to this. The first is being self-aware. That helps me know when I work best, when my inspiration and ideas comes, when it flows. Do you get? So for someone like me now, I don't know, a lot of people might not be, but I can't ideate in a crowded or noisy environment. Do you get? So most times when I really want to ideate, I want to even put together like a project charter, or I want to work on a project brief, I am waiting for everybody around me to be asleep. Do you get? I am waiting for everyone around me to be asleep. So that doesn't mean that maybe during the day or when people are not asleep, I don't get work done. I still do, but I know that it is just me building on whatever it is I have gotten earlier. And sometimes a new idea can come in that I am noting down for me to come work on, to fleshing out during that time that I really work best. Do you get? So that happens. That is like one approach that I use, being self-aware and knowing what works for me. Then another approach that I am learning is changing your environment. Do you get? So when there are times that you may have like, this is the way this thing works for me, and sometimes you just get tired. We are creative, we are human beings, the body needs this rest and all of that. So what if I have like a change of environment? What if I just move somewhere? What if I decide to do something I love doing that does not feel like work to me, and in that process I allow myself ideate and I let myself think? And there's something, a few days ago I watched Silent King's video, and it was talking about as a creative recently has not been able to really create. So what it started doing is started taking a walk, because taking a walk to him is something like he really enjoys doing. So he takes that walk, and while he's there, he just brings out his phone and start recording. That when he first started, it looks weird. He has a whole lot of what if. People will be looking at me and they'll be like, oh, is this man normal? Why is he walking and he's holding the camera and he's talking and all of that? But then he believes that with time it gets over all the what ifs and he's now able to create and all of that. So he's not really looking for that perfect environment, that perfect time and all of that. So I think sometimes creatives we restrict ourselves, we restrict our flow by insisting like, oh, it has to be this, it has to be this way. If it is not this way, I don't think I can do this. So that is another approach. Step out of that comfort zone that you think like, oh, except if I'm here, that is when I can do it. So that is like the second thing that I do. Then the third that has really helped is community, right? That is what I said.
Community.
Being
in the right
as a community manager, give people a sense of belonging, so that when you need them, they are able to pour into you.
Wow.
Do you get?
Wow. Did you get that?
Like, they are able to pour into you. So you have a community of other creatives. You surround yourself with people. Do you get?
Yeah.
It is not a competition, it is collaboration. I get the part where creative think like, if I share this idea with someone, they probably want to take it or steal it. But really, when you are with really healthy minded people too, you know that, see, this thing, it is collaboration or competition in any way. You get? So they really help you. Talk to them, talk it out with them. Oh, I have this project I'm supposed to work on. I'm trying to create something like this, and it's looking like I'm not getting it right. 1, 2, 3, come together. They help you. Even as a project manager, I have a community of project managers where, when the task is looking like this is going to unalive me, I am running to them like, guys, come, let's do this.
So you can brainstorm.
Do you get? Let's brainstorm. Maybe it is one project owner or one stakeholder that is showing you shaking. You come and meet them like, guys, if this is happening, how do you cope and everything? So those are like the different approaches that you can use to overcome all of these blocks, right? And it is really, really going to be like very helpful in the process of creating.
Yes, Mercy, thank you so much for that. You mentioned a lot of things, and I'm just going to like reiterate a few things that she said. The first one is knowing what works for you, and as creatives, I must say, understand what works for you. Know exactly the timing that works best for you when you get creative flow, or she mentioned something about also changing your environment to, when need be, know when to change your environment, know when to move out of your comfort zone, know when to do beyond the normal, beyond your ordinary, beyond what you're used to. All of these things help you get out of your creative block. That is beautiful, Mercy. Thank you so much. Okay, so my next question now is, what would you say are the most common challenges that project management challenges that creatives face, and how can we as creatives overcome these challenges?
Okay, so thank you, Precious. I was going to say that the first thing to me would be how to balance structure with creativity. Do you get? So a whole lot of So a whole lot of creatives actually struggle with balancing, like, this is my creative time, then with the structure itself. They just want to and they had to like follow. So they just want to get everything done and all. But then the thing is, project management is not a cage. It is actually meant to give you freedom. So to explore. So what I would just say is, know how it works for you, right? No, use the tools, just like we mentioned about the tools, and that is where it comes in. So use the tools that works best for you, not the one you have to fit into. So when you use the tools that work best for you, it is easy for you to balance your creativity with the structure you are trying to introduce to your workflow, right? Then the other thing we already like talked about it here is the time management aspect too. So creatives like struggle with time management. It is a thing with everyone. I don't know if it is even to creatives alone, right?
Actually, everyone, not just creatives.
Yes, you get. So time management. So that is why it is good to set deadlines for all of your projects. Even if you are going to like create a script, set a deadline about when this script has to be ready.
Yes,
if you are going
personal deadline.
Personal deadline for I am creating this script, and from this time to this time, this is what I'm working on. By this time, I am taking it off. Do you get? So for all those blocks, the little chunks that come together to become solid, create a deadline for each of them. So that way, you are able to manage your time well. And there's this other thing that we do in time management matrix, where you have the important, the necessary, and less important, and everything, the urgent and all of that. So also determine that. So when you're looking at your workflow, the task, determine that, so that by the time you're doing, you don't now come to now do one when the one that is not necessary or not important at the time that is urgent. So you already sort all of those times out and everything. So please, you can check the time management matrix. I know I didn't get the all that well.
Yeah.
Then also, the other thing is, there's this thing where you have I won't say unnecessary request, but there is something that request that comes from the project owner or whoever your client is. So from the onset, you can be doing something and somebody be so we're thinking you should add this to it. We're thinking you should add this to it. What if you do, and all like that? As much as it is good to take feedback, you also have to know when to know what this is it. This is the scope you've given me from the onset, and this is what I'm working with, right? So that if in trying to accept all of those requests, this one comes and can you add this? Another one comes and can you add this? You now look at by the time you are taking all of those request, you now see that the time you are supposed to use in doing some other things, the new request is eating it up, and you're not. Do you understand? So you have to also politely know how to stick. Politely know how to stick to the scope of whatever it is that your clients you are working on. Not that you're not open to feedback and everything, but politely, emotional intelligence and everything, just communicate that to them, like, oh, okay, so this is the scope. Maybe when we work on these sprints, we are able to do this. Maybe in another sprint we can do this and all of that. So that way it helps. You are really able to manage that project and your time and everything that is involved in the point of creation and in being creative here. So yeah.
Oh, wow, that's simply amazing. I absolutely love that. And what you mentioned about having your personal deadline is beautiful, because when you have your personal deadline can always be like some days or weeks before the main deadline. So it just programs your mind. You're working with that personal deadline, so that by the time you've met that, you can, maybe if there's something you need to work on, eventually you will definitely be done, or even before the main deadline.
And that way it helps you rest. Sorry to cut in. It helps you rest to avoid burnout, because freelancers is that burnout. They complain a whole lot about burnout. So I feel like if you are able to manage your time well, you have all those personal deadlines, it really helps you manage all those burnouts, and you're not stressed, because by the time you have like a deadline, a final deadline to meet, and you've not worked on all those projects and all of that, then it all comes together and you are fagged out. You don't even know how to. At that point, if you're like me, I don't work well when I am overwhelmed. Let me have all the tasks of this world to do. The moment pressure sets in, I cannot do anything.
That's the same with me. Like pressure, no.
So
I don't work under pressure.
So to avoid the pressure and everything, it's really good to have all those deadlines set. Get the work done. Yes, they're not going to ask for it in another 2 weeks' time, but get it done. Know that, so that you can also move on to something else, right? So let's start working that way to make life easy.
Simply beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
The time management metrics you mentioned, I think I'm going to have to put it on the screen or something. I think it's something. There are 4 in total. We have like necessary and urgent, necessary and not urgent. We also have urgent and not. I think something. Yes, not important, and then there are 4 like that. So know which. I think the first one you need, the one that's like priority, is necessary and urgent. That's the first one. Any task or project that that is necessary and urgent, that's the one that's the first for you. And on. So I will try as much as possible to get that the correct one and put it in for you.
Awesome.
So thank you once again, Mercy. As I have some questions for you, I'll try to make this more fun. This has been really educative, I must say. And so I have this or that questions for you. Just gonna make the atmosphere a bit more fun and casual. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So my first, TikTok or Instagram?
Oh, Instagram. Girl.
Instagram, okay.
Instagram. Girl.
Okay, so I think I might know the answer to this one because you mentioned it. So, I'm just going to ask it. morning brainstorming sessions or late night brainstorming sessions?
Okay. I would say midnight.
Like midnight.
Midnight brainstorming session.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So pizza or burgers?
Oh, the pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Nice. Working alone or collaborating with a team?
Oh. Both.
Both?
Yes.
Okay, so but which one would you go for? Like if you were to pick one?
If I were to pick one, God, human beings, yeah. But then I think I think I love collaboration. I just like it when I have people
Working with. Okay, that's
yes.
fine. So planning a project or executing the plan?
Both are as important. But I
Or
would
which one do
say,
you love the
okay,
most?
so for
Gravitate
me,
towards?
gravitate towards the most. Yeah, it would be the planning. The planning
Okay,
is
the planning.
easier.
Executing is where the main work is.
Executing is the thing, but you see
Yeah.
the planning is sweet. You just sit down, ideas go. You can even build castle in the sky when you are planning. Get to execution, my dear.
Like, you know how it can be when you're planning, like it's so perfect.
It's so perfect.
It's so perfect in your mind when you're putting the plans and all.
I
But
know, right?
executing.
You don't get it.
That's nice. That's nice. So
Right.
next one, virtual meetings or meetups or in-person meetings.
Please give me virtual.
Ah.
I like my home.
Yes, so yes, so.
Give me virtual.
Okay. So lastly,
Okay.
fiction or non-fiction books.
I love non-fiction.
Non-fiction.
Yes,
Mm.
please. I love non-fiction.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So I have a
Welcome.
simple riddle for you.
Hey, Jesus.
Now the thing here is my riddles are not hard. They're not difficult. My dear audience, don't you agree with me? They're not difficult.
Okay, let's see.
They're simple as it. And trust me, this one is really simple, pretty simple. So and it's short.
Okay.
So my riddle is poor people have it. Now this thing,
Okay.
what am I? Riddle me this. What am I?
Yeah.
Poor people have it.
Okay.
That is, poor people have me.
Okay.
Rich people have me.
Okay.
And if you eat me, you die.
Okay.
So what is that thing?
Poor people have you.
Yes, poor people have it. Rich people need it. Yes,
Mm.
rich people need it. And if you eat it, you die.
It's not time.
No,
It's not time.
no.
It should be time. Oh.
It's not time. It's not time.
It's not time. So then, what can it be? Poor people have.
Yeah, poor people have it.
Rich people need.
Rich people need it. And if
And-
you eat it, you die. I'm just going to give you a hint. It's
Okay.
something abstract. It's not something concrete.
Not concrete. Not
Yeah.
concrete. And it's not time. Time is not
It's not
concrete.
time. It's not time. So like because if we can't eat time and die,
Okay.
so
Yeah, true,
it's not
sure.
time.
So the eat aspect did not pay. So let's see. Nothing.
Nothing. Like that's your answer. Like nothing.
Yes,
Yeah.
nothing.
That is correct. Oh my God! Please, a round of applause. Can we have the round of applause sound for our guest, the very first guest, the very first guest to get our riddle
really?
correctly. That is
Really?
correct.
Oh.
Yes, as a so far so
I'm
good.
proud. I'm proud.
But actually, let's be truthful. That riddle was simple. It was simple,
okay.
it was
So
simple.
even
It was simple.
let me not overthink it, right? Let me just.
The answer is actually nothing.
Okay.
Poor people have nothing. Rich people need nothing. And if you eat nothing, you die. So that is it. Thank you, Mercy, once again
Thank
for
you,
answering all of our
Precious.
questions so brilliantly.
You're
So I have one
welcome.
very final question for you, which is basically going to be like a pattern. What you're creative. And before I get into that, dear creatives watching, listening, whatever the case may be, thank you once again for being here. If you've been here up to this point, you're the real MVP. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, ensure to do that right now. Just click on the subscribe button and turn on notifications button so you are notified when our next episode goes live. I'm sure you had a wonderful time today. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you had a beautiful learning experience listening to Mercy spit all that fire. So just put in the comment box what your key takeaway, what you're taking out of today's episode. So Mercy, final words for our creatives. So we know that there are creatives who want to improve their project management skills. They want to be better project managers. You know, whether they were solo creatives or you're working in a corporate organization, want to be doing really well in our project management, being able to effectively manage our time and structures and all of that. So what's like the first step you would recommend for every creative out there who wants to get better at project management?
Okay, so basically we said it earlier, and I'm still going to reiterate why, is come to the point where you know yourself, know what works for you, know what works for you. So it's easy to pick the tool that fits for you, not the one you're trying to like fit into jigget. So know yourself, self-awareness, what time works best for you, what tools work for you, how best do you collaborate. We just had a this or that, so maybe you do a this or that for yourself.
This or that. Interesting. So do a this or that. That's beautiful.
You get? So,
yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Mercy. I think I like that this or that thing that you. And I think I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. If that's the only thing I take out of this session, this or that. Go and do a this or that. Think this year, 2025. How can I make myself a better creative, project management wise? What are the things that I prefer? What do I prefer? Is it Trello or Asana? She mentioned something about Asana being more for people who love. No, you said something about people who have more virtually like like
that's
that's
Trello.
Okay, Trello.
Yes.
Are you team Trello or team Asana? Are you team Google Docs or whatever? Just do it this or that.
Just do a this or that.
This or that. What works for you?
Is it solo? Is it
collaboration? Is it morning?
Is it?
Is it morning? Is it night? Is it planning the project or is it executing? So yeah, do all of that and know what exactly your personality is and what works for you. So thank you so much once again, Mercy. So can you tell us, where can we find you on social media? How can we see what you do?
Okay, so basically, if you're going to look for me, please come to my LinkedIn, Olubukola Mercy Allow. I would say I am most active on LinkedIn. Not like active, but then you see me more on LinkedIn than any other platforms. Then of course, I have an Instagram page. I am an Instagram page, and you can also check the corporate elite there. We're still building that, by the way, but then
can I have a community?
No, it's like my organization, my agency, the project management agency, but I am building with some other cool people, so you could check that as well. We're going to have like a whole lot of projects on that page this year. So yes, that is basically where you can find me. And of course, I also belong to the PM Tribe. The PM Tribe
project management.
Yes, it is really a cool place, and we have a mantra: no project dies in my hands. Like every of our projects has to be successful. So it is either success or
nothing. Okay, success. I like that. I think every success or success.
Success
or nothing. Or success or. In fact, the project never happened. So it's a success or success.
Right.
Thank you so much, Mercy, once again. And thank you, my dear creatives, for watching. And like I said before, put in the comment box your key takeaway from this session. Until we meet in another episode, I remain Precious Greg, aka the Copy Talker, and I'm your fine host.
Yeah.
So we say bye.